All right, let's jump right into a really interesting question. What is it that makes American literature, well, American?
I mean, you might think it's just literature from America, duh. But hang on, it's almost all written in English. So what makes it not just English literature? That's the real question, isn't it? And figuring that out, well, that's how we unlock this whole incredible world of writing. So here's the deal. At its heart, American literature isn't just about a place on a map. Nope. It's about a totally unique experience. We're talking about a body of work that grew right out of the American soil, packed with values and ideas that are just fundamentally different from what was happening over in Europe.
Okay, so how did this whole new identity even happen? Was it just an accident? Not at all. It was a very deliberate creation, really. It was forged by two massive forces. First, the American continent itself, and second, this kind of rebellious new way of using language.
Let's dig into that first one, the land. You know, you really can't get American writing until you wrap your head around the just massive scale of the continent. It was like this giant blank canvas for everything that came next. Just think about the difference for a second. European literature, it came from a place that was already defined, all mapped out, totally soaked in history. But America, it was seen as nature's nation. It was this vast, almost infinite continent. And if you're a writer, that one little difference, it changes the entire game.
And that feeling of endless space, it translated directly into creative freedom. I mean, writers suddenly have this bottomless well of new experiences to pull from. And that, of course, led to this huge explosion of new themes, new styles. The whole American experience was just shaped by nature in a way that Europe's really wasn't.
All right, but this brand new world didn't just inspire new stories, it actually demanded a new way of talking, a new language. You had these early American writers basically saying, hey, we need a voice that's ours, one that's totally and completely free from our colonial past.
So, the big question is, how'd they do it? Well, it came down to three really clever moves. First up, minimalism. They just ditched the super formal, stuffy rules of British English. Second, they basically tore up the rule book on literary forms, mixing poetry with short stories, novels with prose poems, all that good stuff. And third, they just started making up new words. They had to describe this new world, the land, the weather, the whole way of life.
And what did all that lead to? A language that just felt real, It was informal, it was conversational, and it really captured how Americans actually talked. It was literally the sound of a brand new nation finding its voice. So you take this new land, you add this new language, and what do you get? You get this incredibly powerful set of themes, these big ideas that will go on to define the very soul of American its writing.
Okay, first and foremost, at the heart of everything is the American dream. We all know this one, right? That incredible story of going from rags to riches just through pure grit and determination. It's a theme you see everywhere, from Benjamin Franklin all the way to The Great Gatsby.
And that's tied right into the endless quest for freedom. And I'm not just talking about political freedom. I mean a deep, personal escape from the rules of society. Think of Huck Finn just floating down the Mississippi, getting away from it all. But all that freedom, it leads to another big question, the search for identity. It's this deeply personal journey to figure out, who am I in this massive new world? That's a central struggle you see in the work of authors like, say, Ralph Ellison. Which, of course, connects directly to individualism. This is that powerful belief in self-reliance, the idea that you can and should stand on your own 2 feet. It was famously championed by writers like the great Ralph Waldo Emerson. And last but not least, there's the journey itself. And this could be a literal physical journey. Think of the Jodes in The Grapes of Wrath heading west. Or it could be a spiritual journey, a quest for self-discovery. Either way, that idea of transformation is absolutely central to the American story. What's so amazing about all this? Even though these themes are born right out of the American experience, they speak to everyone. They're universal. The search for a better life, the fight for freedom, trying to find out who you are, these are human quests. People all over the world can get that and connect with it. So, I'll leave you with this to think about. Of all these powerful themes we talked about, the American dream, the quest for freedom, all of it, which one do you think shapes our world the most right now, today? Something to chew on. Thanks for joining me.